Hello, everyone.
Hey, happy Sunday. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. We had beautiful weather here. Beautiful. What was it? Mid 70s, maybe low 80s. No humidity, which is like awesome for us. Tag was a little jealous though, because we were looking at the wait times at Disneyland, and they're, as you probably know, crazy low right now.
Amazing.
Perfect time to go.
Do you want to social media post this? I don't think we social media posted. Hello, Lori. Hello, Kate. Hello, Stephanie.
You typically set one up to auto post, so did you?
I
maybe
didn't this
not?
time.
Okay.
But let me double check. But I don't think I did. Because I would have done it through here. Oh, I got to get you set up on this, by the way. Hi, Keith.
Oh.
So we can be in sync again.
Lori, I didn't like
Yeah, nothing for today.
your little like photo of you for some reason. I do not remember your hair being that dark. I'm like, what? Lori? Oh yeah, nope, Lori.
I was gonna say, I feel like Lori's hair was like lighter brown.
But a lighter brown, yeah.
It's probably because of the sun.
Or maybe it's like the lighting of the photo. Oh, it's your like professional photo. Got it.
Ooh.
What are you looking for? Oh. Do that
A few
later.
years old. Do you need the link, or do you have the link?
I am trying to... I'm really bad at doing multiple things at once. So either you do the post and I talk, or I do the post and you
I can talk.
to all
I can
guys,
talk.
Everyone.
Hello, Jill. Don't worry about it, Lori, with the magic mail. That's fine. Is going to the dark side. Hey, Josh.
Yes, I'm going to link in Discord.
Who? You?
The link's in Discord or no?
It's in... Yeah, I can... But I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Because it's in announcements for the details, but I'll just put it in the notes for you.
I think it's so, like, it's like the perfect combination of things going on right now, right? We don't have any pass holders or key pass people in the parks. We then have all of the people waiting until the new passes and key holders things go. It's going to take me a long time to, like, say key holder instead of, like, pass holder.
Oh, I'll let you finish
key
your thought,
instead
and
of
then I have a
pass.
question.
But, like, it's just really weird. And then, like, a lot of kids are back in school, so it's just normally a slow time, but now it's, like, extra slow.
Yeah. So I have a question
crazy.
for you before. I know you're trying to do this, but quick question. So we have an annual pass holder level. Should we rename that to Magic Key level? Or do we need to revamp all of our levels to be like enchanted whatever and make it the...
Nah, I won't worry about it too much. Thank you, Mel. These are my cocoa ears. A listener sent these in. Gosh, that had to have been like 2018.
That was from a listener, huh?
Yeah, and it was pretty amazing because they said that it was like they were looking and could not find, couldn't see them in the parks, and just, if they happened upon them, and they asked a cast member at like an outdoor vending cart in, I think it was in downtown Disney of all places, and they still had a couple, and so they snagged one for me. It was like extra magical, but I love them. I traveled with them to D23, but this bow, I'm like really worried about this bow.
The bow is looking...
It kind of got bent in my like holder thing, so I'm a little like, I'm very worried about it.
You're not going to remember after this stream, but I have something for you in my car since our trip. I have the 2 rolls of toilet paper that you had in your thing. Oh my gosh.
Why did you...
That I keep thinking, because I didn't want to throw them away. It's like a year ago, those would have been valuable. Do our post, so we're not halfway through the stream by the time you get it posted. If you go into the general chat, it's there now, the link. Yeah, so Teresa brought... what were you trying to pack in your thing to take home?
Vern's boat.
Oh, okay. Teresa was trying to find a spot to put the boat from the tropical hideaway that the Sunday thing came in. And so she was trying to, and she thought she could put it in the case with her ears. Well, to keep her ears good, she put 2 rolls of toilet paper so the bands would go, like the headband would go over it. And so I didn't want to leave that in the hotel because that's like 2 rolls of toilet paper, man. Like I said, like 16, 18 months ago, like everybody was freaking out about toilet paper. So I kept it. It's in my car. It's in the back seat of my car that I keep forgetting to give to you because it's in the backpack where I don't ever think about it. And I'm guessing that if I give it to you, you're probably just gonna like do something with it. But
I'll figure something out.
But thanks, Josh. Yeah, I let me get rid of this so you can see the shirt. I actually had a guy today. So I was talking about this on our hangout a little bit. So there's a thing in the town that I live called Corn Fest, and they do like this time of year every year except for last year. It's all about corn, right? Because we're Midwest. And the guy that I bought a hot dog through was like, I don't understand your shirt because all it says is going through life like, and there's no like punchline. And I said, oh, it's a Disney thing. It's like the dumb chicken or whatever, or rooster or whatever from Moana. And he goes, oh yeah, no, I know the character. I just like, I don't understand your shirt. I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be like going through life like, hey, hey. And he's like, oh, that's right. That's the thing's name. Okay, I get it now. Hello, Joanne. Hello, Mel Shane 23. I don't know if you're Mel or Shane or
maybe both of them.
Mel Shane. Yeah.
If it's 2 people.
Did you finish posting whatever?
Yeah.
Sweet. No Twitter, just Facebook and Instagram?
No, Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And now I got to do it separately for Instagram.
Gotcha. Just Mel. Well, thanks for joining the stream, Mel. We appreciate all you guys being here. Yeah, Stephanie, I think so too. It's the empty. I don't know if it'll be interesting to find out with the calm before the storm comment because it'll be interesting to see how many reservations Disney allows for the passes to see, because I don't think it will end up being as busy in the parks as it was previously. Do you need the live stream graphic? I can get you that quick. If you want to talk to some folks for a minute, I can get that for you.
Oh, I can do it. I already talked about the calm before the storm. So.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Ruben, thanks for joining.
Hello, Monica. Yeah, I mean, I'm jealous. I was telling Teresa that
It's crazy because, right, everyone's saying that it was historic lows when the parks first opened. I feel like this, to me, is more historic because it's just it was a really weird time with the parks closing and then reopening, but I feel like a lot more people maybe were staying away, especially because it was only open to California residents. But even the crowd levels, the capacity limits are much higher now at the park, but the crowd levels are still crazy low. I wish I were a local, and I wish I had unlimited access to like multi-day passes so that I could just soak it all in. It'd be so great to be there right now.
Hello, Scott and Kareen. Welcome to the stream.
I'm seriously like very happy and excited for any and all weekly tiers and just fans in general that are able to be there to experience this. Like, can you imagine being able to, if you had a park hopper, being able to get through almost all of the attractions in both parks in like one day? Yeah. That'd be amazing. Crazy. That would be amazing. Absolutely nuts.
Did you guys see, we talked about it in our chat a little bit, but did you guys see that for the special assistance pass, for people with different abilities, that Disney's really going to crack down on that? They said that if if they're found that they're like cheating the system, that they will be banned from Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
Michelle, that's amazing. She's in line right now for Snow White's Enchanted Wish.
Why are you on our stream if you're in Disneyland?
She's waiting. She's waiting in line.
Hi, Chris.
This is her interactive queue.
Oh. Well, Michelle, tell everybody in line around you about us and have them subscribe to the podcast. That'd be awesome.
Michelle, is this your first time experiencing the Enchanted Wish? That sounds like a couple of key levels that are
right
pretty soon. I'm not sure if everybody here has experienced it, but we really, really enjoyed the plussing for Snow White's Enchanted
Yeah.
Wish. It's just, it's very magical. Like, it's probably, for now, my favorite like Fantasyland dark ride.
So, Joanne, what a way, like, if you can make that work, awesome. You're like, I was on the beach and I got my magic keys.
That would be super cool.
What I'm thinking, though, Joanne, and I think Teresa and
thanks,
I
Michelle.
are on the same page with this one, is I think that it's going to be like the Oogie Boogie Bash tickets where the system's going to be like ground to a halt the first day.
Yep.
I think if you just wait a day or do it like that evening or something, I'm guessing that there's still going to be tickets and there's still going to be passes. I think the Orange County Register reported that Disneyland thinks that they will sell, because there is a stipulation that they could stop selling different levels of passes. But I think they told the Orange County Register that like they plan on being able to sell all of them for at least 2 months.
Yeah, I'm not, everyone's getting bent out of shape. We've talked about this before, but everyone's kind of getting stuck on there's, limited amounts. There were limited amounts of the annual passes, and yes, a couple of the pass levels they did stop and pause sales on for one reason or another. So I feel like
it's like the SoCal one though.
But these Disney has a lot more control over the keys than the passes since they control the reservation calendar. So
yeah, I think if they control it through reservations,
they can sell as many passes as they want, but it's the reservations that are kind of what are going to be limited. So there's been a lot of news since we've had our last live stream. So let's talk about keys first, because that's the first big thing. So how many of us are thinking we're going to do a key, and what key is it that we all have our eyes on? Tag and I are looking at the Enchant key.
We're definitely going to do the Enchant key.
It just works super well for us. Our next 3 possible trips that we kind of already have, 2 are for sure. One of them depends on when D23 lands, but all 3 of those trips we're able to go with the Enchant key. So that seems seems like the smartest option for us. Believe. Very nice.
Let's see the Believe key.
Chris, I'm totally going to be crashing the system at 10.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
That's the hard part, because we're all so excited and we want it like now, but really if you're not going that day, you don't quite need it, but the excitement, man, it's the excitement.
Chris, I have a question for you. Could you, because you're in the area, could you just go down to the park and buy your pass and bypass the whole online business? Yeah, you said Magic Key all the way, but what level, Chris? You mean Dream Key?
The Dream Key?
Because that's the one that's like free parking is included.
It is funny.
That makes sense, Lori.
I was joking. It may have been with Lori. But it was one of those like,
hi, Liberty.
Ooh, like, are you going to get should we get our passes that day kind of thing? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit this one at the back of the line, and I'm going to intentionally be at the back of the line. I'm going to let everybody else figure it out for me, and then I'm going to learn from what they did, and then just have smooth sailing past that. Because every time we do stuff, this happens. This happened to us for Touch of Disney. That, like, the day they went on sale, the system was overloaded, crashed, and it was like super stressful. It happened again for Oogie Boogie Bash. It's going to happen again for Magic Keys for sure. So, and both with Touch of Disney and with Oogie Boogie Bash, the day after, the dates that we wanted were still available. So there was really no reason for us to put ourselves through the stress. So I think I'm going to save my levels, my heart. Whatever.
Yeah. So Kate, what you're saying about the they didn't want people to go to the ticket booths unless they're trading in a ticket. I have a feeling that Chris probably has a ticket that she probably could transit, because I know Chris was there was a couple people we met when we did our trip that were locals and had a bunch of either the special tickets or just actual park hopper tickets that they had purchased. So we'll have to see. I assume unless you're in the know, I don't see why, what if somebody shows up that day and they're like, actually, I want to do it? Or if they only want people exchanging, then you just loop around it. You just buy a park hopper, then turn around and be like, now I want to upgrade.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to say, I vote that if you're going to buy it that day, at the parks, you gotta at least go like inside and get a churro or something. Like I would just have to, I couldn't be that close with my new magic key and not go in. I couldn't do it.
Joanne, if it's anything like the Flex Pass,
I mean,
it's super easy to get reservations. We don't know, but I have a feeling that reservations are not going to be that difficult to get. I think that's like the boogeyman here, that everybody thinks that's going to be a huge problem, and I don't think that, unless it's like Christmas or, anything like that.
Oh, yeah, no, I would get my key, get my reservation, and then get my, well, let's be real, my Dole Whip. And then I would just, like, waste the rest of the day in the
How
park.
do you trade your tickets online? Can you do that?
There's a way to do that, and that's what I'm kind of also waiting to figure out. Oh, that's a good point, Stephanie. That's a good point. If you'd like,
gift
you
cards.
doing it with gift cards? Yeah, that's a great point. So it'll be interesting. I think, like you said, I think reservations are going to be like when the parks reopened. Initially just for in-state guests, and then for out-of-state guests, and then, well, I don't even think they really have the same like push for out-of-state guests. I don't remember there being a lot of. I think there's going to be madness and craziness for reservations. There's going to be a lot of days that are filled in the beginning, but it'll level out, kind of like Avengers Campus, right? Craziness. It was ridiculous waits to get in just to like be inside of the magic lines around it that separated it from the rest of the park. But then a couple weeks later, everyone kind of, got over that and went on with life normally.
Jorge, no word on the monorail yet. I assume when the weather gets cooler, because there's no air conditioning. I think that's one of the things, and I think that we're getting further away from it because of the fact that masking is coming back. It seems like, and more COVID cases are spiking and stuff. So. Just when we thought we were over and heading out the tunnel, we're kind of heading back in. So I don't think the monorail will be operational anytime in the next couple months.
And I guess I don't know the reason behind why. I've heard speculation. I haven't heard anything official. If anybody here knows exactly, has heard something more official as to why the monorail's not going. I don't know if it was the AC thing, kind of like it had been. If there's maybe something else going on.
There's not much capacity in it, so if you're smushing people in there,
are there enough people there to run it? Or maybe they decided it wasn't a priority. I don't know. Maybe they decided, right? You've got less cast members in the park, being able to do things, so maybe they decided those people were better off somewhere else.
We have been wondering that too. With the Dapper Dans.
I really thought it was going to happen on the 66th. I really, really did. I thought that was going to be the extra sprinkling of Disney magic.
What I don't understand is they've brought back like the pirate band or whatever. They've brought back all these
similar
things. Other things. Like, why haven't they got the Dapper Dans back?
Yeah, that makes sense, Jorge. I feel like it's more than just the air conditioning.
Yeah,
more than,
I don't know, man.
I feel like it's something that we don't, know all about.
But also, I don't feel like the monorail's that popular with the average guest. I don't know. Oh,
good. Yeah, there you go.
See, Stephanie's got the key.
That was the other thing I was gonna say was I wonder if people didn't return that were because it's a very specialized thing, right? Whether it's the driver or the mechanic, you don't want to just say, "Hey, come here, you're gonna work on the monorail now." Because I'm sure there's training. I'm sure.
Oh, that's true. The Dapper Dans were being used a lot during COVID. So
I don't think they...
Oh, and the cadaver. Oh, maybe they come out for the Halloween party.
Maybe.
You're just done getting your hopes up about
I am.
I'm
trying
the Dapper
to,
Dans.
yeah.
So as Teresa was saying earlier, so we talked about the keys now. So what the next thing is the Genie program, right?
Genie program.
Now, we haven't even talked about this on the podcast yet, have we?
No. Yeah, no,
we haven't talked about it on the podcast. Yeah. So somebody did message us and say, I was hoping that you guys would do a special breaking news episode, but I figured we wanted to wait and see what all the details were, because in the beginning there was a lot of hype and clickbaity stuff, and
it didn't. Yeah, it seemed like they kind of threw it out there, but didn't tell you really exactly what it was, but just kind of gave you a little sampling, a little taste.
Sure. So you go first.
So my thoughts with it, I don't think. So all right, we've got two we'll call it in a half versions, because you've got just the Genie program, you've got Genie Plus, and then you've got whatever they're calling the extra Lightning Pass.
The Lightning Lane
passes, but
Sure.
there's some other thing, because that's like pay per ride thing.
Sure.
So for me, I don't know if I would ever, I think it's great that the Genie is available. I think it's going to be something that's going to be very helpful for people that don't visit the parks, that may find it intimidating, because we kind of forget about this. We're living, we're breathing, we're into
real-time follow-up on this. So the Genie's the free thing. Genie Plus gets you like the Max Pass thing, and then Lightning Lane Select Experiences is the other thing.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, sorry.
So the Genie, the Genie, I don't think is made for the annual pass holder type guests, the people that go frequently, know the park better than they probably know maybe the town they live in kind of person. That it doesn't make sense for those types of people. I think it makes a lot of sense though for first time visitors, or maybe family reunions, or that sort of stuff, because it's people that are wanting to visit, excited about it, but don't know the lingo, the language, don't know how to attack the park, do Disney, however you want to say it. So I think it makes wonderful sense for those folks, which that's just not me. So that's not something that I would be taking part of. Disney Plus for
Disney
us,
Plus?
or Disney Plus, Genie Plus, they need to get more creative with their names. I get myself confused. The Disney Genie Plus, I'm still on the fence on this one. I really like the Photo Pass. Really, really like the Photo Pass. I just don't know if it's worth, with how frequently we visit, if it makes sense to pay $20 extra per day for us, or if it doesn't make sense. I haven't decided. It's not for sure one way or another for me. I'm on the fence. I see both sides. I can see why people would think this is great. I can see why people are like, this is terrible. But the one plus that I think that everyone is going to get with the Genie Plus is just the fact that if you read, you only get one Fast Pass, aka Lightning Lane selection, at a time. You can only hold one at a time. Previous with Fast Pass, you could have one, and then 2 hours later you could get a second one, even if you didn't use that first one. So there was just, in general, more people going through the Fast Pass lane, which was then blocking up and backing up the standby lane, which was doing crazy things to wait times. I think overall wait times and standby lines are going to be better and feel better than they were before, because I don't think we're going to be getting stopped as often if you're in the standby lane. So I think that's a plus. That's not what they're advertising with this program, but I'm thinking that's going to happen. What are your thoughts? I feel like I talked a lot.
No, I wanted you to get through all the stuff that I like, because I basically agree with you on all of that stuff.
Sure.
So the basic Genie that doesn't cost anything, that's just the app. I assume that this will be part of the Disneyland app, or it will replace the Disneyland app, because a lot of the functionality in the Disneyland app is going to be in this. So you've got wait times, current wait times, but you also have forecasted wait times, which I think is useful, because they know what their data is. Teresa talked about this the other day when we were talking about this, that unfortunately, our friends over at Touring Plans, this is going to kill their business, because that's basically what their business does. I do think, depending on how well Disney does this, I feel like Touring Plans might be more accurate, but we don't know yet, because we haven't seen what they've forecasted. All the other stuff I feel like is stuff we already do. They have restaurant wait lists and stuff like that, mobile ordering, attraction virtual queues. All that's already in the Disneyland app. Nothing new here. The Genie Plus is like Max Pass again, like we used to have Max Pass. Feels very, very similar. There is this cool thing called audio experiences, which could be kind of interesting. Because can you imagine doing a tour, maybe a part of a tour or something?
That was the other thing I was super excited about. Again, most people probably, whatever, just kind of graze past that. But they were going to have different audio spots, and the gentleman, I am terrible. I should have jotted his name down. The gentleman that presented this. In this, there was a 15-minute video that Disney Parks Blog had put out. There were two videos, one that looked kind of like a commercial, and the other one was longer. It was the head of their tech stuff that was doing. Anyways, he said something about this, and he said it'll tell you things behind the attractions, kind of interesting stuff. So Disney
cool.
nerd me is what?
That
so
does sound
kind
cool.
of almost like an audio, you could almost do an audio tour of the park in a sense, obviously it's not going to be as fully fledged out as a typical audio tour would be, but I thought I am excited about that part.
Yeah, that sounds cool as well. So so then there's Disney Genie Plus, which, like I said, is like the Max Pass thing, which we already kind of know, and it has a couple of these little things. It includes Photo Pass, blah, blah, blah. One of the things we've seen in our chat has been, we wish there was a way you could decouple Photo Pass from the Max Pass / Lightning Lane, Genie Plus, whatever thing.
There is. You can do Photo Pass per day, but it's the same price, I think.
Right, but what I'm saying is, why can't, if it's the same price, why isn't Photo Pass cheaper or something?
Right,
anyway, whatever.
Right. Just if you only wanted photos, it was $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
I agree.
So then the other thing is this Genie Plus Lightning Lane, which is going to be an additional upsell thing for them. So if it's a really popular attraction, the examples they've given have been at Magic Kingdom. There's a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is a few years old now, but still commands very long wait times. Yeah. And then, something like Rise of the Resistance, which created a lot of clickbait because even I think the Orange County Register posted like, pretty soon you can pay to ride Rise of the Resistance. It's like, well, that's not, I mean, kind of, but that's only like part of the picture. Yeah. If you've been following any Disney news, they rolled this out at Disneyland Paris, where if you want fast passes for certain attractions, they cost different amounts of money. They don't have fast pass anymore. They don't have Genie Plus. So depending on what attraction it is, there's a different price, and you pay to get like bypass the line, whatever. For me, this is kind of, Teresa said this earlier when we talked about this on our Hangout. This is kind of like the best of both worlds, I guess, which is I didn't want Fast Pass at all. I thought our experience, with the exception of Space Mountain, Grizzly River Run, and Radiator Springs Racers, I thought our queue experience and wait times were great. Mm-hmm. Those 3 attractions were awful. One of them was because it broke down. That was multiple Grizzly River Run. So, like, I get that. But Radiator Springs Racers and Space Mountain were just, and there's no good theming in the queue or anything.
The other crazy wait, too, is Splash. Splash the entire time we were there, because it was middle of the summer.
Sure.
Had crazy wait times.
I don't remember
the queue
being...
didn't feel as awful as the other ones.
Well, they have a better themed queue.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is, I wish that instead of spending all this money, because, they're trying to make money, I get it, but like, instead of spending money to make these systems, to make more money, to charge people for all these different things, I would rather them do like they did with Indiana Jones, which is make a really nice queue, or do like they did in Disney World with like the Haunted Mansion, make like an interactive queue. Yeah. So you don't care that you're in line because you have something to do.
It's fun because that's part of the experience.
Yeah, it makes the attraction itself is 10 minutes or whatever for Haunted Mansion, but then you get this line experience too, so it kind of extends out the whole experience. I like that better.
And I think Disney could easily do that because we've added some fun things with the Play app where you can like do interactive things in queues that didn't actually have interactive things like they have in Walt Disney World. So like, for example, when we were in the Space Mountain queue, that was really fun. There was all these codes all over the place. I didn't really care about the game, but I thought it was fun to just like enter the codes in. Or in Peter Pan, they kind of, in both of these things were just painted on stencils of stuff that they did to the existing queue that was, other than that, kind of boring. So, something simple like that goes a long way, and they have technology already to help with that. I'm going to go back up here, and I agree. I think we had a couple of people say this, that, if you're going to be a key holder, it's really not worth it to add it each day you go, because, right, you're a key holder. You're going pretty frequently, so that's going to add up very, very quickly. But hopefully, eventually, maybe, they will do a flat rate like they did with the Max Pass. I don't have a feel if they will or not. I can honestly see them maybe not doing that, because part of the limiting fast passes with the Genie Plus program, I feel is intentional, and I kind of think Disney's trying to not have as many people go through the fast pass lane as they had done previously. So,
and if they do, they want you to pay for it.
I do wish, though, at the very least, can we please have an add-on option for annual or for key holders to be able to just have a flat rate, pay an extra $100, and you have Photo Pass attached to your pass? That would be amazing, because Photo Pass photographers are like just awesome, right? Those photos are so special. I never got it. I never really understood the hype of why you do that until I had my pass. Or until Max Pass, because we were buying Max Pass and it was just included. So we're like, well, why not? We'll go ahead and do the Photo Pass. I love those photos. Those are some of my favorite photos from the park. The quality is great. We're always having fun because nobody's worrying about who's taking the picture, and it's not like it's a selfie arm or asking some stranger who
They have the magic
may or
photos
may
too.
not have it anywhere near where you wanted it to be. You know, like they know what they're doing.
But they also have the magic photos where they like put in
Yes.
different things and
Yes.
stuff. So
Yes.
I love those interactions as well. But I think the reason that you didn't do it before, it's the same reason I didn't do it before.
possible.
Because when it started, it was like an attraction photo. Like they would take your picture, and like at the end of the day, you go to the Kodak photo place on Maiden Street, and then you paid per print or whatever. I always thought it was like, oh, well, here's an extra way for them to make a bunch of money that I'm not going to do. So when they came out with the PhotoPass system where you could pay like a flat rate, all your pictures for whatever, the first time that I ever used it was actually at Disney World. We paid, James and I, for the whole trip, we stayed 7 days, and we paid $170, I think, for the whole trip. We loved it because at the end of the trip, we had all of our pictures. We could download them. They came with some like, generic like stock footage of the park and stuff like that, which was also kind of cool. But it was worth it because it was our first time at Disney World. We took advantage. Every time we saw one, we decided to do it. There wasn't like a huge line for the PhotoPass photographers. It was wonderful. And I think it's gotten better since then. When we had MaxPass, same thing. Mm-hmm. You could get all these photos, and you get these great experiences with cast members. The problem that we had, and again, when we were there for Touch of Disney, and not as much, but when we were there for our trip in July, there just wasn't as many PhotoPass people out taking photos. So even though you were paying the same amount, you weren't getting as many opportunities. Yeah. So it kind of wasn't as good of a deal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The thing again too, I feel like the keys, it's going to kind of evolve as they learn pros and cons and what works and maybe what doesn't work. So especially Disney Plus, or Disney Plus. I can't stop naming everything the same thing, Disney. Especially Genie Plus.
Plus is the thing now. Everybody's plussing everything.
No, but it's just anyway,
Discovery Plus and
it's true.
Paramount Plus.
It's true. But it'll be interesting what they're telling us it is now versus maybe what it is in a few months and what the options are and who all that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting because I do think they're going to probably be taking in account, like you were saying, I think it was both Chris and Stephanie with key holders. Like maybe they won't do it, maybe it wasn't part of the plan, or maybe they won't do it in the beginning, but they're going to probably go, oh, you know what? I bet you if we do a flat fee, we'll get that, they'll do it, we'll get more money and whatever. And Chris even said, then they can spend more time in the shops or whatever. So it'll be interesting because I wish I had some sort of little I don't know,
crystal ball,
robot fly or something that could just be in on these meetings. Because what's the thing with the fast pass / lightning lane? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Did we think it was a great idea in the beginning and then realized, oh gosh, this actually made things worse? So maybe
fast pass?
If they're trying to dial it back and not have as many people in that lane to cause the disruption and the wait times to go all crazy for standby. I don't know.
I honestly don't think they're looking at it that way. I think they're looking at how can we monetize this? And that's what they've done. Liberty, you bring up a great point that I have never even thought about, which is with the fact that there's no shows and stuff right now, and that eats up a huge amount of guests. So the lines would be even shorter than they were when we were there if there was a magical map, if there was the Frozen show or whatever they're going to replace it with.
The new Coco
show. Because those take up hundreds, if not thousands of guests at a time.
Yeah.
So that makes a big deal.
Yeah.
So Josh, you definitely got your PhotoPass thing out of that.
I'm impressed that you had that many PhotoPass photos in 5 days. That's pretty awesome. You're right. But Liberty, I want to argue, I like that the character meet and greets don't have the line and the more forced weird feel. I like the natural flow of just walking past and you're like, oh look, it's Cinderella. Hi Cinderella. Quick, can we get a picture? Thank you. And moving on. I do think it's a little sad because I think kids probably really enjoy the autograph book thing. I know when I was a kid, I really liked my having the little autograph book. So that's sad to me.
Well, I can tell you,
I just like the more you just kind of
it's like a drive-by.
Just turning the corner and there's Peter Pan. That to me that's more magical than okay, if we want to see Peter Pan, we got to get going, like hoof it over there. It's just not, I don't know, it's just not as magical.
I think the one thing that is missing, and you kind of touched on this, and I experienced it myself with Cat's was the interaction that you get with that couple minutes of you and that character directly, just the two of you interacting. That's really magical, especially for people who are really into the character stuff. For you and me, that like it's not that big of a deal. Are like, oh cool, we can get a quick picture with the character, and then they can turn and get a picture with that person and whatever is awesome.
I think they need to go back to the old way, which was somewhere in between those two things. I don't remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember having like the schedule like be public knowledge, and that it used to be you turn around the corner and be like, oh, it's Baloo the bear. Mom, can I go get a picture and an autograph with Baloo? Sure. And you'd like wait in a line, but the line would only be like 4 kids long.
Sure.
Because it wasn't that, it was everyone in the park knew what time that character was going to be.
Well,
set
I
in
like
what
when the
place.
characters, I've experienced this a couple times on Main Street back in the day.
Have a good night, Keith.
Bye, Keith. Was when characters come out, like you're saying, and there wouldn't allow like a line to start. Like the character would stop and say hi and like sign your book, but then keep moving. You know what I mean? There's like no time for the line to build. And I think that that's better because it's like these characters are, to me anyway, I feel like the characters should feel like, especially like in like Toontown and Fantasyland, like they live there. They're just doing their life and, like, hey, visitor, like, I'll sign your book, but I gotta go. Instead of like, hey, I'm hanging out at this spot for now. Like, nobody does that in real life.
Lori, that is a super, super cute story. Thank you for sharing that. Cinderella kissed her son's face and he didn't wash his cheek for 3 days because he was just so like, oh, I was kissed by a princess. That's so great.
You know what they could have too, that would be the best of both worlds, Teresa, is they could have a rotation of characters that are stationary, like at the Princess Fantasy Fair, because
like
there's
Mickey,
rooms for that.
You go to his house.
And then they could have characters at other times of the day, because you don't want to have Mickey in 2 places at once, because that's very confusing for everybody. And you could have characters walk around randomly at the other times, so you can get both of those types of interactions.
Pooh doesn't chase butterfly. You know what? They missed the mark with Pooh. They should have had him they should have had like a honey or like a prop honey jar or a prop beehive, and he's like trying to get the honey. That's what they should have done with Pooh's little because remember he's like chasing butterflies.
That's still cool though.
I think it's cute, but
it's cute.
You don't see him do that. Maybe he does. I don't think I've seen him do that in a movie.
But to finish out, the one point that I keep making, and it's very, I don't know why this is my soapbox for this whole situation with the genie thing, but something that I think doesn't get talked about enough, which is why I keep advocating for it.
Oh yeah.
Is like when I was a kid, there's no way my family could have afforded to add $20 per ticket per day on for something. Plus more for if it's like like when I was a kid, Indiana Jones Open or Splash Mountain Open when I first went. So there was no way I would have ever been able to experience those attractions when I went as a kid because we couldn't afford it. So I think that there is a group of people, which I will say a lot of our listeners, especially people who support us, have some disposable income that it's not sure nobody wants to pay more, but it's not like you can't do it.
Right.
But I'm worried about the parents and the families that can't afford. Because how do you explain to your kid who's really excited about Star Wars that, I'm sorry, Bobby, but we can't afford to pay $12 a person for us to go see that? Well, why can all of those people do it? Well, because they have more money. Like I just don't ever want that to be the case.
Mm-hmm. The
That's
other thing
truly
too,
in their houses works really well.
Families, like if you have a large family, that adds up real quick at $20 per day. 'Cause it's not like mom can have it on her ticket. Like PhotoPass, one person could put that on their ticket, and it would work for everybody in the photos as long as you shared them with each other. But the lightning lane kind of access, every ticket needs that, so it's not like it's an option. I do want to go back to, I think it was Liberty earlier, asked what we thought lightning lane prices would be like. The only one that for some reason I kind of think that they're gonna start high and work it back if needed. But I think we're going to probably see things like Rise of the Resistance maybe as high as $15, possibly $20 to go to. The other thing I think that they could do, whether they will or not, but if there's some weird thing like maybe too many people aren't paying that price, or maybe they're trying to attract more people over to a certain section of the park, they might send push notifications and say, hey, Rise of the Resistance is 50 they could, whether they will or not, they could send push notifications and have like mini flash sales on some of these things too, to kind of,
which is what Paris says.
Around.
Price per guest and attraction varies according to attraction and day of visit.
Look at that. Good job, Teresa. High five.
So the ones in Paris, just for comparison, the ones you can get Premier Access, which is what their version of the Lightning Lane thing is for Big Thunder, Peter Pan's Flight, Ratatouille, Buzz Lightyear, Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain, which is like their overlay for Space Mountain.
Any of their
Star
Buzz Lightyear
Tours,
must be amazing.
Twilight Zone, and Autopia.
Oh yes, and their Autopia and their Buzz Lightyear must be like top notch, superb, because there's no way.
Hi, Donna.
No way I would pay extra to go on those. I just go on.
Do you
them.
secretly work for Disney?
I wish I did. Yes,
So here we go.
Plant.
So somebody has screenshots from Paris. These are all in euros, not dollars. So
I don't know what the conversion
their
rate
Space
is.
Mountain is €9 per guest. Their Star Tours is 8. Their Autopia is 8. Their Buzz Lightyear is 15. So
I
it
need
must
to
be.
go on this Buzz Lightyear. I need
Peter
to.
Pan is 15 and Big Thunder is 12 per guest per
I
thing.
need to go on this Buzz Lightyear. I need to see this.
So according to the DisneyInsider.com,
Their shooters must actually
they
work.
said that with Buzz Lightyear costing €15 a person, it will cost €60 for a family of 4 to ride it once if they do it.
$1.20 per euro. Woo. So €15 is like $20.
That's crazy. I'm trying to see if they have any like weird conversions
Look at that.
here. It's all.
$15 to $20. Second high five, Teresa.
Can you stop it? It's kind of scary. Like that, you know all of this.
I don't know.
Have you been holding out on us? No, you work for Disneyland Paris.
Tinkerbell just comes in like
Yeah.
ding, 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 tells
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I want to go look at YouTube because I want to see what their Buzz
I
Lightyear
gotta
looks
know.
like.
Has anybody been on the Buzz Lightyear in? Is it Tokyo? No, Paris.
Paris.
Has anyone been on the Buzz Lightyear in Paris? What is this that makes it that?
It looks probably
amazing?
exactly like
Come
the Disneyland
on.
one. Let's see. It looks exactly like ours. It's like exactly the same thing. Like the queue anyway.
The stuff must be so much more amazing inside.
Nope. It's exactly
No.
Disneyland's. It's exactly Disneyland's.
No. I don't remember all those cables.
So,
I mean, it's
here.
better than ours.
So this is
It's better than ours.
no. You just don't see all of that because you're busy trying to hit the stupid things.
These don't flung down.
Some
do they?
some of them do. Some of them
Oh.
do. This does look a little bit different, but
It looks a little better, but
the
not
basic
like,
idea is
totally
the same.
better.
Not €20 or €15 or whatever. Better.
Maybe it's new, Kate. That's a good point. Maybe it's
well,
new
this
to
was
them.
recorded in 2019,
Okay, never mind.
so I don't think so.
They just really, really, really like it. Really like it.
Well, that's what.
Liberty, I agree. Midway Mania, I think, is more fun than Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blast. I think the hard thing for me with the Astro Blasters is I cannot figure out where how to aim them. It shouldn't be nearly as hard as it is for me. I'm much better with, because you can see it better with Midway Mania.
It opened in 2006.
Oh, so okay. They just really, really they don't have a Midway Mania. That's why they don't understand.
Kate, it opened in April 8th, 2006.
But yeah, even Web Slingers, I would argue, is more fun because it's just easier for me to understand how to aim in those games.
So
I'm just shooting blind.
when I have a decent gun that I can see which little laser dot
that's
is
the other
mine,
problem,
then
too.
it works fine, and I actually really like it because I do better than I do Midway Mania.
It's almost too bad that they don't have a little bit of fog in there so you can see the line.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would be
was
great.
it Vern? Vern was the one who taught us with Midway Mania, because with Midway Mania, you have like the little cord with the ball, and so you're like pulling on this thing like a crazy person. Well, Vern was like, all you gotta do is you take your fingers, you put the thing through,
Just like-
and then you kind of do this. And I'm like, oh. But then at the end, I started panicking, and I started doing the thing again.
Yeah. Well, and Chris,
That's
I was
true, Chris. I hate
was
that.
having a problem that I couldn't tell if the sound was my sound or if it was Vern's sound or if it was like
Somebody else's
somebody
sound.
else's sound. I was just confused. It was hard.
So when we went, we
Really
didn't. When James and I went to the Enchanted Forest, they had a thing that was kind of like Buzz Lightyear,
Sure.
and I could not tell for the life of me what was happening or where I was
I just
hitting things.
Pray for the best.
Yeah, well, I would watch the score go up, and I'm like, I think I'm hitting the right thing, and I would just keep trying to aim. It was terrible.
Well, and that's the other thing. I feel like their little score things sometimes are hard to read. I don't know why. And it's also nowhere near.
You know
like,
what they need to do? They need to upgrade the camera in that, because I got our email like photo, and it looks like
camera's bad.
you can't even see the picture.
Bad. That's true. That's very true. Anyways, I think it'll be interesting how this kind of all unfolds and works. And
That's true, Jill. It didn't register half the time. I agree with you. In Enchanted Forest.
I feel that way in Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blaster. So I'm like, why do I do so well in Midway Mania?
So
and
do you
I
like
did really
Midway
well
Mania or
in Web Slingers?
Web Slingers better?
I think this is my gripe with Web Slingers.
Okay.
They need a practice. Like the first thing you do needs to be like teach you how to do a practice round.
Isn't that
thing.
what it is?
No.
I thought that's what it was.
Midway Mania, yes.
Are you? Oh yeah. Oh yes. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Midway
they
Mania.
had like a practice thing there because the first time we went through it,
Well, how are you going to
just
practice
as, I
when
know
the bots
it's not
are getting
part
out?
of the like
Yeah.
story, but just as you
I'll bet you they were, Corrine.
like start getting the hang of it for the like on your first time through, you're done. So it's like, oh, okay. So I just had dumb luck and somehow did well.
I also
that time.
realized, kind of like with the use the fingers to just barely, that on Web Slingers, here, if I get rid of our lower third, this will be easier. With Web Slingers, instead of doing like me, I'm going to demonstrate quickly here. Instead of doing like me, which was seriously, you could literally just like if you just put your arms enough
that's not
out of the
fun.
thing.
You gotta.
But
do
if you
the
don't want
pose.
to, but if you don't want to have, well, I definitely wasn't doing the pose.
Oh, I was. It's all about the pose.
Who did best of all of us? Do you remember?
Me the first time. I don't remember who won.
Were you doing
second time.
Were you doing the pose
I
the first
was.
time?
I was,
Okay.
and I go like this because I apparently couldn't just keep doing it. So I was like,
Well, that's actually kind of good. 'Cause you get,
slinging.
instead of like out and in, you're kind of doing like a row. That might be a good way to do that. Because this way feels very like jarring because you have to like stop and bring back
I was
and go.
Like,
But if you're going like
thinking about
this,
flinging.
that's way
Like,
better.
you fling a web, not.
Has anybody who's ridden
web.
Web Slingers been able to grab something and throw it?
Tried that so many times.
Mine got stuck, but I couldn't. It wouldn't do anything. I was like, everybody stopped talking. I think everybody's dying of laughter from
They
us.
could be jabbing and flinging.
Somebody's gonna take an eye out.
Yeah.
That should be a bonus
need
episode where like
safety goggles.
we just have the camera and it's us like
That's why you have the goggles, is so you don't poke out your neighbors, take out an eye. It was, I liked it a little bit better than I thought I was gonna like it. Do I think I need to ride it every time that I'm at the park? No, like it's not a must do for me, but yeah, it's fun.
Stephanie, fingers like guns.
That's what Jill was saying, and we're like, you can't do that. You gotta flip. You gotta.
Maybe you're the Spider-Man that has like spider guns instead. You're like the
Pew 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 pew.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Kareen opened a vent, and there was a gold spider bot behind it. Ooh.
Well, I think that like it hit it or whatever.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
But like that you can like open things like vents and whatever. That's cool, and not just like grab things and. I don't know. I feel like that's why I need a practice round.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I want to promo something quick. So for people that are supporters at the annual pass holder level and above, the producers got together and talked about their experience in Disneyland and having to go with us. So it was very entertaining. So if you go on your Patreon page or you have your Patreon feed and you haven't listened to it, please listen to it. It's a great episode. If you guys want them to do more, comment on that post because I think they're going to end up doing a second one about DCA because they only really talked about Disneyland.
Joanne, that's hilarious. The fastest gun web slinger in the West.
That's great. We should challenge ourselves to go on and do different ways.
Whew, yeah.
Maybe you could do yours with your ears. Just kind of.
Head fling.
Yeah, you could be like a rocker.
That seems like that would mess more. I'd be more sore for that.
Liberty's very excited now.
Ding ding. I don't know what.
I like your sound effects. Can we have your sound effects too?
What noise does a web make?
Like.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, have you ever even seen the Spider-Man movies?
I didn't. Yeah, it's been a while. I didn't remember to post it, but we took this ridiculous photo while we were standing and waiting. So there was this weird thing with the queue. You had to get the boarding pass or whatever they called it for web slingers. And then you still stood in this 45-minute queue that wrapped all the way around and went into backstage and then back. Well, anyway, so we were very bored. So we took this ridiculous photo of us stretching and getting ready for web slingers, but then I kind of completely forgot to post it.
I'll share it here on the stream. Let me just pull it up real quick. Vern's Jungle Cruise jokes.
Vern's Jungle Cruise jokes. There you go. I haven't listened to it yet. If there's Jungle Cruise jokes, I'm definitely gonna need to tune in.
I was a little sensitive because,
oh yeah,
because there was somebody not liking
surprised.
how I tackle the park or something, and I was like, "What? Can I not search?" I guess I'll have to go
that would make it way too hard.
Disneyland. That's
nope.
Touch of Disney.
Did you not put it in there?
No, it's under
DLWeekly?
Maybe.
Trips with James?
No, it's under shared albums or something.
Oh.
It should be in here. Let me just scroll through this crap. I'll find it.
Anyways, Liberty loved how James and Vern shared their perspective, and it was quite romantic. Oh, I really got it. That's sweet. I really got to listen to it.
Yeah.
I was surprised because Tag was talking about how they thought, what their thoughts are or were on attacking the park, and I thought I was an odd man out, so that was kind of weird to me. I also didn't realize you and I were so different, but I think we're more similar attacking the park than you think. That's the bad one.
So which one was it? Was it later?
Yeah, it was later in line.
Oh, here?
No. There I am. Look, I'm making the noise too. You can just tell that I'm making some sort of sound effect.
I love with the glasses. You just look. Let's see. What was it after this?
No, it was before that. I don't know.
Was it?
Yeah, James took the picture, so maybe it's in a different
maybe
spot.
I don't have it because this is just us hanging out. Because we.
Oh, that was the.
This was funny because
the first one, and then we're like, this looks ridiculous. So yeah, James took a better one in front of the wall with the spiders.
I want to see where if I can find the shared albums because that's where it is. It's in the shared album.
Thanks for joining, Donna.
Bye, Donna.
We have not heard anything about the trams yet, Jorge. No news yet on trams. I don't know. I just not sure.
I wish that.
Oh my gosh, it's somewhere in your road trip. Don't you have? Where's the shared album?
It's not showing up on iCloud on this.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I don't know why. Seems stupid.
Okay, but it's not in there either.
Well, great. I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
But yeah, it was fun. I'm curious to see if and when the big E-Track
what?
I can't even say
what?
it.
The what?
E-Ticket attraction is going to. I don't even remember if they had some sort of somewhat name. The big Avengers ride, the one that's supposed to be in the headquarters. I'm really curious to see if that happens, when that happens, and what it's going to be. Because the stuff that they kind of teased at D23 last year made me think all sorts of things, and I'm just like, what is this supposed to be?
This one?
Yes, that's the one. That's great.
All right.
Because he did it in superhero angle.
Yes,
Interesting, Stephanie, that there was a survey that included a question about the trams. I hope they're not considering making that a permanent thing. Aloha, Kay. That's exciting that you're in Hawaii.
Are you at
Beautiful.
Alani? I hope you're at Alani because Alani is awesome.
Even if you don't stay and visit Alani, I think like one of my things, even if I never
you went to
there,
Hawaii.
Yeah, but I didn't know about Alani when I was there because I went there
When did you
years
go?
and years and years ago. I think it was 2000. It was like the first year I moved up here, so 2007.
When did Alani open?
No idea. I'm not that good. It was probably already open, but I just didn't know about it or didn't realize that I could just wander around without actually
2011.
being there. Oh, so it wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better. I didn't actually miss out. So, you live in Hawaii. Very cool.
Yeah, but Kay, can you go to Alani? Like people
Yeah.
in Southern California can just go walk through the Grand Californian?
I think you can. I think I've heard that.
Because that would be.
You just can't probably go swim and stuff like that.
Thank you, Kay, for telling. Yeah, because I
And,
want to go
I
check
really
it out.
want to get shaved ice there. Yeah, I just want to check
I
it out.
thought you were gonna say I just want to get shaved there, and I'm like your head.
No.
Anyway,
No.
my brain cut off your sentence before you were
no,
done.
not at all. But yeah, it's Lee. I hope the monorail comes back soon too. Even if they just drove it around and had that kinetic movement
Just
energy.
drove it
Yeah, even if it was empty, I'd be okay with that. Just as long as I could see it passing by. Remember how excited we got during D23 when we were staying at the Howard Johnson and the monorail go by? We'd always go monorail.
That's true.
We were doing that when we were in the park. I think a lot of people see the monorail and can't help themselves and have to go monorail.
I will say this time at the Hojo was less magical because I could not look out and see the monorail go by.
See, I'm really hoping the monorail comes back before March. You booked a spa treatment there. Very nice.
Is anybody
Stephanie.
excited for the spa to come back to the Grand Californian? We talked about that last week.
We did. That spa looks gorgeous.
I can't bring myself to spend spa money anywhere. It doesn't matter if it was on a cruise ship or at a hotel, or any of it. Have you ever had a spa thing? Has Estina ever done a spa thing for you? What does that entail?
We did a spa thing for your wedding.
Was that a spa thing?
That's a spa thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Where you're just relaxing and they give you waters and you have facials and massages. That's a spa thing.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you've had a spa experience.
Okay.
Not quite as immersive as this new one is going to be. Nat. Not quite as immersive and beautiful as what is going to be happening.
Well, I just want to walk through the new spa.
Oh, this is bad because it's opening now, and now I'm can I maybe go there and have something done before the wedding, during the wedding trip?
So
try to make excuses, but it's gonna be so expensive.
Think what we need to do, Teresa, is I think we need to go find something we want to do at the spa, and I think for the podcast we need to go have a spa treatment.
Research. So we can research. There you go. But yeah, I just.
John Cryer at the spa in Alani.
Ooh, Lori had a massage and manicure at the Grand, at the.
I wonder how
old
much
spa.
a massage would be. I would
Wow.
love to have a massage at the Grand Californian. Actually, I just want a massage in general.
Alani spa was a little pricey, but so was Alani. Fair. I was a little shocked at what the Alani prices were when I was looking just out of curiosity. I'm gonna have to save up for that
Well,
one.
it's not the
Got
Mandarin
it.
anymore.
However, my Disney Visa card. That's my new favorite thing. Everything I put on my Disney Visa, end of the month, pay it off. I don't have to worry about balancing
And
a
you get
checkbook
free-
or anything like that. And then it rolls over into Disney dollars. It's magical.
Teresa just bought her wedding dress on her Disney Visa
I
card.
did
It was
just
amazing.
buy my wedding dress on my Disney Visa card, so that gave me a couple extra bucks.
Just
We're
a
actually
couple extra
we're
bucks.
actually going to. I haven't touched my Disney dollars since D23, and I don't know why. Oh well, 2020 happened. That's why. And then, well, Vern and I got engaged a couple months after D23.
Ooh.
2020 happened, and we knew we were going to do a Disney wedding, so I just stopped. All of our trips, I stopped using my Disney dollars because I'm when I learned I could turn my Disney dollars then into a hotel stay at the Disneyland Hotel or any of the Disney hotels, I was that's where my Disney dollars are going. It's going to go to a hotel stay.
They have 2. I'm looking at the spa pricing. It's not open yet.
For where?
But look, for the one at California Adventure.
It is?
Or not California Adventure. But Magic Key Holder massage and a Magic Key Holder River Stone massage. So they already have the Magic Key Holder stuff.
I wonder why, that's interesting that there's one specific to key holders.
So the River Stone, I wonder if there's one that's a River Stone
is
normally.
it, like,
right here.
weird discount?
So you're saving a big deal because the River Stone massage.
Well, that's 80 minutes versus
But still,
50.
160 to 240. That's still a fairly okay deal.
Dang.
I don't know. 160 is a lot of money, though.
John
What do
was
you
with his
like
wife
to
and
get?
They were getting a couples massage. Oh, that's cool, Stephanie.
A couple's aromatherapy massage is only $175. That's not
Aw.
terrible.
They have mothers-to-be ones. Very cool.
Deep tissue. I don't want deep tissue. 'cause
Sometimes that
seems
sounds a
like it
little
hurt.
painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there what one of these things would you
Oh,
do?
yes. Maybe there's fancy Magic Key robes, Liberty. What would I do there?
Like which one of these things sounds
I
like
don't
something you would do?
know.
Facial?
Nah.
Manicure?
I've had a facial. I like getting facials, but I don't think I'd want a facial in the middle of my Disney stay.
Sure.
Wild honey and mud body renewal. Whew. What is that?
I think I'd go for a massage and I'd do it like the last day before we go to the airport or something. Because then you could just relax.
a pedicure. Get a pedicure because I'm thinking
Oh, let's see.
relax your lower legs and feet. Step in time foot massage. Step in time, step in time, step in time.
Oh, my
there you
goodness.
go. Mindful Traveler Mini. Oh, 50 minutes. I can't read. It's fine.
$90, that's not terrible.
Look at that right there. Help reduce lower leg water retention, increase circulation. That would be good before you get on the plane. Anyways, pie in the sky dreams because these are not pricing
There
for
was
the faint of
something
heart.
too about like teen services.
Yeah. Oh,
That's interesting.
I'm a teenager. If I get a discount, right?
You could probably pass for a teenager.
No, I can't pass for a teenager. Ooh, that's cool, Chris. Very cool.
Okay. We have to wrap up because it is 8:30 already.
Holy cow.
That went quick.
That did go very fast. Well, we talked about a lot.
We did.
A lot.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Yes.
A lot of the stuff we talked about with the GD program will probably
You'll probably hear again on
you'll
this
hear it
week's
again on the
episode.
podcast. What are we gonna do for our discussion topic this week?
This week is us. It's us. So I think we're gonna do maybe an attraction deep
Like a
dive
deep
again.
dive?
We haven't done an attraction deep dive for a little bit.
People
so.
do miss the attraction deep dives. Let me look. I know we haven't looked at this in a long time. The
Oh,
votes.
Yeah, we can look at that too. All right. Well, again, thank you, everyone. Oh, if you haven't, side note, we are trying to get little sound clips
Yes.
for our 200th episode. What is the phone number they call in? So basically, if you feel comfortable, please call in and leave a little voicemail, and you could possibly that could be played on the podcast. We're going to talk about basically just kind of what the podcast means to you. It's going to be our 4-year anniversary. What things you like, I don't know. Say nice things, please, because
Joanne thinks we should do a special bonus episode of us reading the Halloween snack list.
Yum. And just drooling about it. So anyways, something that we can use from the show, whether, it's what the podcast means to you, how it incorporates in your Disney day, what the community is to, whatever. Sky's the limit on that, something DL Weekly related. But please, if you want to do that, the phone number is 657-345-4445. We'll put those in the comments for you too. The other thing that you can do as well, if you record and you're like, oh, that sounded goofy, you just call back and you can re-record it. That's not a problem. We're not going to judge you.
I'm going to edit it anyway.
You do not understand how many times we fumble over our own words and have to edit ourselves. So we get it. We totally get it. We want you to sound good. So totally
if you sound good, we sound good. So well, have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. And you guys will hear us on Wednesday. If you are a supporter of the Discord chat, we stream the audio from our recording when we record, usually around 7:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. In Discord, there's a channel called podcast stream. If you just click on that, you'll hear our audio of us talking.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see some of you guys then. Anyway, have a great
Thank
weekend.
you.